So here's what I want to know. Maybe the viewers can weigh in, especially those who are a little older, certainly alive in 2013, especially anybody who lived or visited Hawaii in 2013. I'd like to know how much crack was going around or what the sale on tequila was that everyone on the island must have been drunk when they elected Mazie Hirono to the Senate. That's what I want to know. I want to know how much tequila was flowing on the island or spiked coconut juice or whatever when she got elected. Because you had to have been just out of your mind to elect her because she is a crackpot, plain and simple. I mean, and she's not the only one, but she's the standout award-winning crackpot of the night, with closely followed by Cory Booker of New Jersey, Feinstein, Leahy, Whitehouse. He's a beauty. Coons, Blumenthal, who lied, surprisingly. That's a shocker. But Mazie Hirono, it's almost indescribable.
She takes the cake, doesn't she?
It really is almost indescribable that voters, I mean, what were the choices in Hawaii in 2013? Who else was running? I mean, what were the choices that you picked her?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point because I'm sure you could have ran a shoe and the shoe could have won.
Here's Mazie Hirono questioning one of the more brilliant people that I've ever watched, and I watched all day long. I mean, Amy Coney Barrett is one of the more impressive people I've ever watched.
Boy, she was good, wasn't she?
I mean, there's so many ironies about the day that we'll get into, but one of them that I tweeted about was that maybe other than a handful of people asking her questions, the rest of them wouldn't even pass her own class on constitutional law. They wouldn't pass it. I mean, she is stunningly smart, sitting there at the table by herself.
Without notes.
With nothing.
Yeah.
With nothing.
I love that she picked up that book. It was great.
We took some pictures. We had a cameraman inside. Do we have that first picture, G, from today? Speaking of the... Oh, yeah. Yep, I remember that part. That was...
That's a good book. I like that one.
So
I'm glad she brought something to read to take the attention away from the stupid questions she was getting.
Yeah, that was on the pad there, so that was the first thing. So, all right, thanks, G. So anyways, but I mean, so here's Mazie Hirono asking this unbelievably qualified, and we all know her background if you listen to her. Here's Mazie Hirono's line of questioning. Cut 25, G. Roll that.
To ensure the fitness of nominees for a lifetime appointment to the federal bench or to any of the other positions for any of the committees on which they appear, I ask each nominee these two questions, and I will ask them of you. Since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No, Senator Hirono.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement related to this kind of conduct?
No, Senator.
That's the senator from Hawaii today asking a Supreme Court nominee. Now, if you remember Mazie Hirono during the Kavanaugh hearings, maybe she's hearkening back to her and her colleagues back then, and she feels some attachment to that, so she has to go back to it. But I mean, what kind of who acts like that? What kind of question is that to somebody who clearly we've watched all day talk about not only her background, her faith, her family sitting there. Her kids have to listen to this crackpot ask if basically she's ever been a sexual predator. Or 13, 11, and then these kids sitting right there. Well, what is that?
It's unbelievable.
What was going on in Hawaii in 2013? That's my question for the night. And everybody can weigh in on social media.
It was a good pot harvest. They just like what I mean, everyone.
I mean,
was
like when mushrooms like hit the island in 2013, that was like the big deal, and it was like, oh, let's go elect her.
You know what? Maybe she was the only one that voted because everybody ran away thinking the volcano was going to erupt. Maybe that was the day that happened.